That's why I thought all the talk when the Joe Milton trade happened, it's amazing that one tweet, which was what happened. Mike Reese tweeted when the Joe Milton trade happened, something along the lines of it cleared the runway for Drake Maye. It was one tweet. I haven't talked to Mike. I don't know if you've talked to Mike about the tweet. Mike probably regrets using the verbiage clear the runway, but a bunch of people took that one tweet in the clear the runway verbiage that Reese used, and all of a sudden we had 2 or 3 days of, can Drake Maye handle it? Drake Maye wanted Joe Milton out. It's like, can we cut the bullshit? Honestly, can we just cut the BS out? Because everything we've seen about Drake Maye, everything that's been said about him, the way he carries himself, the way he answers questions, the way he takes accountability, we can go on and on and on. There's absolutely not a single scintilla, not one iota of doubt that Drake Maye is ready to be the guy. And I don't think anybody that watches him or reads about him or knows about him would believe that he was shaken by Joe Milton. So that was one of the most ridiculous things that happened over the past couple of months was that Joe Milton narrative stuff.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And, of course, a lot of this has to do with, sports talk radio around here and how they, glob onto something. And like we all know, Mike Reese's reputation speaks for itself. And, Mike's somebody I go back to when we were young reporters in the AFC East. I was in Miami. He was up here at the, Middlesex Daily News. And along with, I go back a ways with, whether it's Curran and Breer, Karen, like all these guys, we go back to like my early days on the beat. But like, we know, like first, like, let's just point out, like me compared to Mike Reese in my reporting, as far as filtering, like I'm a humongous a-hole and Mike's really nice. and, not to speak for Mike, and I have not spoken to him about it, but the way that I read that was Mike was trying to nicely say what I've said on this podcast and I've written. Like Joe Milton was and this is like direct quotes from somebody in the organization, not a good dude and not conducive to a good quarterback room. I'm not saying I think they meant, they did say that, but I think they just meant in terms of, knowing your role, playing your role, being part of a harmonious quarterback room, that was going to be an issue. And it wasn't about Drake Maye. It was just about the room. And, I think that was Mike's way of nicely saying something like that.
Right.
And I'm sure Mike probably regrets it. We all do. I mean, how many times do I write, tweet, or say something that comes out wrong? And
all the time. The answer is all the time, Greg.
Yeah, the answer is all the time. And because I have unlike Mike Reese, I have no filter. And like I said, I'm an a-hole compared to like Mike Reese, and I fully admit that and embrace it. But I even heard some of course, I was listening to Beetle and Zoe in reaction to Drake Maye's press conference today, and he was asked about Joe Milton, and of course Beetle grabs on to his quotes about like, he's going to get a chance to be a backup and like all that stuff, and compare it to Brady and Garoppolo, and, the way Drew Bledsoe would talk about Tom or what. I mean, like, can we just give it a rest? I mean, Joe Milton's probably going to be a backup in this league at best. He's not going to play anytime soon. The Patriots didn't want to deal with that. We have obviously seen that they've put, football character and the team and all this stuff. Like these are the things that are, primary prerequisites for the job of the New England Patriots under Mike Vrabel. And like Joe Milton, for whatever reason, and I'm not here to blame him. Like if I was a 25-year-old quarterback too, and I had a 21-year-old guy in front of me who was drafted 3rd overall, it wouldn't be a great spot to be in. Like, I don't want to get a chance to start when I'm 30 years old. I want to start now. Like, I understand it, but it just didn't work for the Patriots. And that's all it was about. It didn't work for the Patriots. It had nothing to do with Drake Maye. And can we all just move on and just, go forward and see what this, whole new regime looks like?
In full transparency, I did not listen to Beadle and Zoe today, so I had no idea that Beadle did that after the press conference today. My comments were more about what happened, when the Milton trade happened. I just want to make sure that I clear that up because, aggregators and producers and things can happen. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with our friends at Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time.